People think relationships end because of cheating, or lies, or betrayal. Sometimes they do. But my relationship ended because of a text message. One text. One accidental tap. One moment that lasted less than a second. And yet, it destroyed a relationship that had taken 4 years to build. The worst part? I wasn't trying to hurt anyone. I wasn't cheating. I wasn't hiding a secret. But what I sent, and who I accidentally sent it to, changed everything. Even now, years later, I still replay that moment in my head, wondering what would have happened if I had looked at the screen one more time before pressing send. Because sometimes, a single mistake can cost you the person you love. I met Ryan when I was 26. We matched on a dating app. Nothing special. At least that's what I thought. Most online conversations die after a few days. Ours didn't. We talked constantly. Morning messages. Lunch break conversations. Late night phone calls. The kind of connection that feels effortless. 3 weeks later, we met in person. And somehow, the chemistry was even stronger. Ryan was funny. Confident. The type of person who could make any room feel lighter. Being around him felt easy. Comfortable. And after a few failed relationships, comfort felt like a luxury. Within a year, we moved in together. By year 3, everyone assumed we'd get married. Honestly? So did I. Every long relationship changes. The excitement fades. The routines begin. Real life takes over. That doesn't mean the love disappears. It just changes shape. Ryan and I still loved each other. But things weren't as exciting anymore. Work became stressful. Schedules became busy. Date nights became rare. We started spending more time on our phones than talking to each other. Nothing dramatic. Nothing alarming. Just small changes. The kind couples barely notice until much later. And that's when someone from my past unexpectedly reappeared. One afternoon, I received a message from my college friend Emma. We hadn't spoken in years. Within minutes, we were catching up. Talking about old memories. Old relationships. Old mistakes. Then she asked about Ryan. I told her things were good. Mostly. But I also admitted something I had never said out loud. I told her I wasn't sure if Ryan and I were still growing together. Or simply growing comfortable. I remember typing. Sometimes I wonder if we're together because we truly love each other. Or because we're afraid of starting over. It wasn't something I planned to tell Ryan. Not because it was a secret. But because it was a passing thought. A moment of vulnerability. A private conversation between friends. At least that's what it was supposed to be. That evening, I was texting several people at once. Emma. My sister. Ryan. Group chats. Work messages. The usual chaos. Emma asked another question. She wanted to know if I still saw a future with Ryan. I started typing quickly. Too quickly. I wrote. Honestly, I don't know anymore. I love him. But sometimes I feel like we're just roommates pretending everything is fine. I hit send. Then looked down. And immediately felt my stomach drop. Because I hadn't sent it to Emma. I had sent it to Ryan. My boyfriend. The man I was talking about. The man sitting 20 feet away in the living room. I froze. Completely froze. My heart started pounding so hard I could hear it. And then I saw the 3 dots. He was typing. The reply arrived less than a minute later. but it felt like an hour. Ryan wrote. Wow. That's all. Just one word. Wow. I immediately ran into the living room. Trying to explain. Trying to apologize. Trying to tell him it wasn't what it looked like. But honestly? How do you explain something like that? The damage was already done. Because while the message wasn't meant for him, the words were still mine. Those thoughts were still real. And he knew it. For the first time in years, I saw genuine hurt in his eyes. Not anger. Not frustration. Hurt. And somehow that was worse. That night we talked for hours. Longer than we'd talked in months. And for a while, I thought maybe the accident had done something positive. Maybe it forced us to be honest. Maybe it forced us to confront things we'd been avoiding. But then Ryan asked me a question. A simple question. One I couldn't answer. He asked, "How long have you felt this way?" And the truth? I didn't know. Weeks? Months? Maybe longer. That's what scared him. Not the text itself. The fact that I had been silently questioning our future while pretending everything was fine. He told me something I'll never forget. He said, "I thought we were on the same page." I didn't know I was the only one still reading the book. That sentence broke me. Because I realized he wasn't shocked by the text. He was shocked by how disconnected we'd become. Over the next few weeks, we tried counseling, date nights, honest conversations, everything. But something had changed. The accidental text had exposed a truth neither of us could ignore anymore. Not because we stopped loving each other, but because we had stopped growing together. Eventually, we made the hardest decision of our lives. We ended the relationship. No cheating. No screaming. No betrayal. Just two people realizing they wanted different futures. And honestly, that kind of ending can hurt just as much. Maybe more. Because there's nobody to blame. No villain. No dramatic twist. Just sadness. It's been several years now. And sometimes I still think about that text. Not because I regret sending it, but because I regret waiting so long to be honest. The truth was already there. The message didn't create it. It simply revealed it. Sometimes people think communication ruins relationships. But often, the lack of communication ruins them first. The text didn't destroy my relationship. It exposed cracks that had been growing for a long time. And maybe that's why it still hurts. Because one accidental message forced us to face a reality we'd both been avoiding. A reality that changed our lives forever. Sometimes the message that destroys a relationship isn't the one you meant to send. It's the truth you were never brave enough to say out loud.